Hey loves, it's Britt, and in this video I'm talking about natal north node in the 10th house. So the north node in our natal chart shows where our soul is going in this lifetime. It's a point of destiny or fate. It's an energy that can feel a little bit uncomfortable because it's always directly opposite to the south node, which is like the comfort zone. It's an energy where we're really natural at. It actually shows some of our giftedness, things that really just come naturally that we are without thinking. It's a very strong dominant energy in someone. I find it almost as obvious to see in people as even like the rising or the sun sign, the south node sign, because it's just such a strong dominant energy in someone. But it's an energy that if you solely stay there, you become stagnant. And when you actually use the giftedness of your south node in order to um, build upon it and go towards your north node, that is when you experience true fulfillment and a feeling of being on your soul's path and living in like your dharma timeline. So, with the North Node in the 10th house, this is a public lifetime. This is a lifetime where the soul is meant to shine and meant to be seen. So, with the South Node in the 4th house, this shows that in past lifetimes or in this lifetime, we've been overly focused on our inner self. The 4th house is like our most internal self. It's like the house of home, right? But it's also our inner feelings and kind of like our hidden self and our roots, even related to our family and our genetic lineage. So we have been with these nodes, probably over the course of many lifetimes, incarnating with our soul family or with family that we are very karmically enmeshed with. And it can be a lifetime where it's not that we're going to abandon this family, because I don't believe it's really about abandoning our south node in order to go towards our north node, but there's something that needs to be integrated. There's something that needs to be left behind. And really, what that is like the over focus on the 4th house matters. And you have to look at the sign too, though, that the south node is in. I don't know if I said north node there, I meant to say south node. You have to look at that sign, and those qualities are kind of like an emotional cloaking around this person with the north node in the 10th house and the south node in the 4th house. It's like they need to almost like mature that energy of the south node, that sign, in order to rise towards their destiny and their higher calling, which with these nodes, it does show that it's a lifetime about coming out of like a reclusive energy and coming into a an energy where we're really interacting with the public on sometimes a large scale, sometimes not, but whatever we're doing, we do want to make sure that we are visible in what we're doing. And that's what's going to feel uncomfortable for this person, is coming out of the shell, coming out of the um almost like they're so needed in some way by the family, the upbringing, the like it's almost like the family in some cases are expecting them to be a continuation of what has already been. And this lifetime is actually about saying, no, I will continue what I desire to continue from the lineage, but I also will forge my own path and live my true destiny, which is going to be shown by my North Node. And also, in this case, you also want to look at the midheaven sign and see what that's saying, because that you're going to kind of, with North Node in the 10th house, you want to kind of look at both of those, and they might be the same sign, but depending on what house system you're using, they could be different signs as well. And so you want to look at both of those signs to show what is meant to be expressed in a more public or visible sense, and also in a career sense. These nodes could also show someone who, I mean, like a classic example would be like someone who's been, like, let's say a stay at home mom. And that's like, the South Node in the fourth house. And, she's probably very good at it. It comes very naturally to be in that Cancerian role. But then, as time goes on and maybe the kids get a little bit older, she begins to realize that, she has this passion for, whatever it is. Maybe it's astrology. And she then realizes that she needs to start a YouTube channel. And now no, I mean, this isn't my life story. I don't have these nodes actually, but this is just an example. And, but she really fears that because she's never really shown herself visibly to the public eye. It's always been about, the home life and the family and having the family over and taking care of the children and taking care of the codependent people in the family. And so it feels very uncomfortable to step into this new identity of someone who's even on a camera. Like that is like, scary, or that showcases herself to the public on a video, or I mean, it doesn't have to be on YouTube. It could be just in the actual IRL world, right? And stepping into that career role, because this is kind of a career lifetime. And I mean, depending on, you have to look at the sign of the midheaven. Like if midheaven or North Node is like in Pisces or something, then maybe it's not going to be like a super public energy. But it does show that there's a need to like, yeah, step out of that comfort zone of staying visible to only like the close knit group or the clan or the family, and allowing your light to be seen by humanity. And also with these nodes, it's like they also need to allow their giftedness out to shine. There's a tendency with these nodes to, it's almost like they lack the confidence, probably isn't the right word, but it's like they don't even recognize the giftedness that they have, so they don't bother showcasing it, when in this lifetime they are meant to develop their own giftedness. And then also these unique talents are meant to be used in a career sense, right? Like, so for some people, their life is about, coming from an over focus of career and focusing back on family, like we would see with the reverse nodes. This one is kind of different. It does show that, I mean, you never have to abandon the family, but it's like avoid getting stuck in the day-to-day patterns and in the, like, yeah, emotional codependency or kind of like stuckness of your upbringing, and actually go towards like your career in this lifetime. So everyone's soul path is completely unique. And the thing with these people is that they might hear other people say, well, like, you hear sayings like, family's the most important thing, or like, money's not that important, career isn't that important, like things like that. And it's like, well, maybe that's true for some people, but with the North Node in the 10th house, these things are equally important, and they don't need to feel guilty for allowing themselves to step into that role and actually like some of us are here with a more service oriented role in a broad sense. Not that we're not meant to serve the family unit as well, but some people are just like at the soul level, they're meant to be big and shine and reach more people. So yeah, that's one thing. Developing leadership and kind of like the boss energy, right? Where you don't allow your feelings to dictate whether or not you show up for that higher calling. That's something that these people will have to learn, is that no matter what their mood is, no matter what is going on in the family around them or their home life or whatever, they're meant to still focus on their mission, their calling, their purpose. These things are all going to be very healing for them. But there can also be, with these nodes, kind of a karmic situation with the family where it's like they are required to still be there. So I'm not saying in any way to like abandon these karmic situations, because it is like an almost classically going with the description of like Capricorn in the 10th house. People with these nodes sometimes have some karmic situations to work out first with the family lineage and with the children, or yeah, people connected through the bloodline. It's like sometimes there's something to be done there first, or something to be learned there first, before they can fully step into the teaching role or the leadership role. And so don't think that like if you're 20 years old and you have these nodes, that you should like not start a family or something. It's like Capricorn, like the energy of the 10th house. This is a slow climb, and like it might be required for you first to have a family or balance that karmic energy that you have with your family of origin, your upbringing, and deal with these emotional themes first, because there quite likely can be a karmic situation carried over from the family from past lifetimes. The South Node shows a point of karma. So you want to work that out first. And this North Node, like I said, is something that can manifest more slowly. And also, not to sound discouraging, but like this could manifest 40s, 50s, 60s, beyond. This is like a more long-term leadership position. Like it's, yeah, you don't have to feel pressured at a super young age to like step into your leadership, because it's often going to be those karmic situations that you're working out with your South Node that you end up helping people with later. Or it might not be directly that you're using that to help people, but like the wisdom attained from these karmic situations will help your mission later. So not to be impatient with this one. You know, when we have the North Node in a more earthy house, especially the house of Capricorn, you know, depending on what sign it is in, though, it could manifest differently, but it still does have that flavor of like slow growth and steady growth. And like you want to really be solid on your South Node with this position before you make that ascent, right? I have a meditation on my YouTube channel. I think it's on my homepage because I just love it. I'm like super proud of it. And it's about becoming your North Node. And it really, I feel like for these nodes specifically, I recommend listening to the meditation. And yeah, I think it'll be really helpful. But it kind of describes the meaning of the North Node in the natal chart, and how to build upon that South Node to climb towards that North Node position. So yeah, I'd love to know your experience of these nodes. If you have them, let me know in the comments, you guys. And thank you so much for watching this video. Keep your requests coming in the comments, and we'll talk soon. Okay. Love you guys. Bye.